following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mixed Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Nicky Spagnola.
And it's time for a Wednesday edition of Mix Shots here inside the SWBC.
Should we do it?
Yeah, we should.
What are we doing?
It's a talking thing. It's a talking Cowboys.
I thought it was Dak warming up before the game.
No.
I want to hear about it.
I don't even know where it started, but
You started it.
I started it?
You
I think
started it.
Isaiah
Yes, you did.
always starts this stuff.
No, you started
It's
that.
like the Bushwhackers
It's the Bushwhacker.
from the WWF, WWE from like 30 years ago. It just becomes our sign off and sign on.
I love it.
I'd love to see Mickey do it.
Show him how it's done.
No chance.
Show him how it's done. There
It's like
you
the
go.
swim back in 1967.
Yeah.
Come on, Mick.
I want to do Dak's thing.
What's that?
What was that?
That's
That's
how
how
he
you're-
warms up
how he
before the
warms
game.
Oh, you should do the hip, throw your hip.
There you go.
God,
that one, too.
I'd donate a paycheck to see that.
Let's get up and do it there, Mickey.
We can do it.
I'm not going to do it.
We can do it.
So Isaiah started that.
Yeah. Isaiah starts all the fun stuff on
You
our
know
show.
what? Okay, I'm glad that you brought up Isaiah Stanback because I came in here a little late because I was just doing a Telestrator segment with Isaiah Stanback, and I want to make this point right off the top. Isaiah Stanback is one of the rising stars in broadcasting. Yep. His work on the Telestrator each week. Of course, we did a preseason game, the first preseason game this year in Arizona. And listening on the podcast and everything. But when you sit there and do a Telestrator segment with him, it really comes to light exactly how much he knows about the game and how he can communicate and the spirit that he has and so forth. I mean, he is a rising star in this profession.
Well, my guess is nobody in this room played quarterback before.
And that's right. He's a former quarterback.
That's the thing.
right.
And he was a wide receiver here for a couple years, but he's been with the Patriots, with Tom Brady. He's been on a Giants team that won the Super Bowl. He's been around. He's been in some programs that know what they're doing.
Has he been here? Was he here with Tony Romo? Or was that before Romo?
No, he was
No, he was
here.
It was with Romo, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Yep. And played quarterback University of Washington.
IRS, man.
Yep. Seattle as well.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
He needed to have showed up earlier and took over for Quincy Carter, right?
That's right. If he would have just come along 3 or 4
didn't
years
come along
earlier.
soon enough.
Well, Romo was here at that point too, so
Well, that's
he
right.
would have been competing with Romo.
Well,
but anyway,
Romo wasn't Romo
Yeah.
at that point.
yeah.
Right?
But and he played a little receiver in college, but mainly at quarterback at Washington. But what the Cowboys and NFL teams saw in him was that athleticism. What I see in him is his aptitude and his communication skills.
Well, you
and
better
if
slow
there
down.
are
He may take your
broadcasting-
spot.
Broadcasting networks out there need to be on the ball for him. All right, let's get to the news of the day. Mickey, what is the news of the day?
I guess it was the news of yesterday,
Yep.
right? Evidently, Demonte Kazee didn't listen to Mike McCarthy's lecture on Monday about everybody making sure they take care of themselves, take care of your teammates, and spend time with your family and friends. And I don't think staying out to 3 a.m. on Tuesday morning was part of that lecture. So he gets pulled over and charged with a DWI. So he didn't listen. And as we know, when coaches have a bye week, their biggest fear is
the phone call.
They're going to get that phone call when they put their head on the pillow. It's like, oh, I don't want to hear that phone ring. But it did, I guess. And, so got himself in a little bit of trouble. I don't know how much that affects him with the team here because those things usually take a long time to process, but we'll see what goes on.
And that's one of the questions that fans have is as far as in the system in the NFL, and nobody knows if he was already in it or not. So,
Yeah. Yeah, like if it was a previous
That's all
offense.
private information
Right.
until you get to a point where you're in suspension mode. So
Yeah, and that's with the personal conduct policy in the league. I don't have a great sense of a tally or a system of what punishment might be for something like this. I don't know, because the league is in the past is kind of, they'll pick and choose, or it is like you said, or it's private and you don't really know everything that may have or have not happened in the past, but that's something to keep an eye on over the next few weeks, I guess. I don't know if it would be something immediate, but we'll have to see.
And what I worry about is obviously we dominated the news cycle anyway from the winning streak, but this isn't good news. I mean, winning the bye week is what this has all been about, and making sure guys are doing the right thing, and that's not a step in the right direction.
On the first day.
Yeah.
Coaches always feared unstructured time. The unstructured time between the last mini camp in the summer and the start of training camp. They always worry about that, and they always worry about the bye week. And that is one reason why when Bill Parcells was here, and this was before the new CBA, when it was mandated that they had to have 4 days off in a row, and 2 of them had to be on the weekend. Before that, Bill would give them like Tuesday and Wednesday off, schedule practice Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday would be to be determined, right? And he knew he was giving them off, but he didn't want them to know. So if they were going to leave on Friday,
you're not making your plane
you're
reservations.
not making your plane reservation to the last minute, and you're paying $1,000 for a plane flight to go somewhere.
But hasn't the CBA provided more restrictions on how much you can put the players on the field during the week? I mean, Mike's giving them the whole week off.
Yeah, I said they have to have 4 consecutive days
It's
off.
4 consecutive days
And
off.
it has to include the weekend.
Okay.
Or Monday.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it could be Friday through Monday or Thursday through Sunday.
Right. And he basically gave him, and I understand why he did it. I mean, they had him here on Monday. Some of the guys will come in and work out and get some conditioning in. But this is 10 weeks in a row if you count the 4 preseason games. And I know all the starters didn't play in the 4 preseason games, but it was still a stretch.
Extra week of training camp.
Going all the way back to July 22nd. Was that July 20th, 22nd when they reported the training camp?
Yeah. So it's been a long stretch. And I think he is very cognizant of giving guys breaks to make sure they're not worn out. You got another game this year. I don't have any problems with what he did. But again, Bill's whole deal was don't go back to the old stomping grounds, like go back to the old school for homecoming, right? This is no time for homecomings. And there was some sense to his message.
And the Cowboys aren't the only team doing this. There are several teams around the league that are giving them the whole week off. And as you point out, when you look at, now you're adding another game to a 17 game, and if you've got designs on the postseason, and this team appears to be in that position, I mean, I did the math on it. I think the next game against Minnesota, if you were to map out the entire season where you go from training camp to the Super Bowl, that would be the halfway point of the journey is basically on Halloween, if you just number of days. And so from a number of games standpoint, you're looking at 4 preseason games in this case for this team, and then that would be the 8th week of the season, 7th game, and then going forward, you got 10 more regular season games, and then at least 3 more postseason games.
Golly,
if not
Bill.
4.
He's just
Are you
sitting
tired
home.
yet?
I mean, and so that's why. And we taped the Mike McCarthy show last night, and he was talking about how he compartmentalizes the season, and that's why he likes the way this season breaks down, where he's got this break right now. He can get them away for a full week and still come back. The other thing that's beautiful about this bye week is the fact the Vikings are also on a bye this week. And so even for the coaching staff, normally
you would have
on a bye week, the coaching staff would get together and go ahead and scout on Sunday the game of their next opponent. They don't have to
But
do
they
that.
won't have one. Yeah,
that's right.
And I think Mike talked about it, breaking it up. So this was 6 weeks.
And then
you include the bye in 5 games as 6 more weeks.
Right.
And then 6 more weeks.
Because they get the mini bye after the 2 straight Thursday games, the 1st of December. And so it works out great as far as that goes. Now you just got to have some personal responsibility.
And be ready for the 3 consecutive away games, the 1st of December.
Now, guys, how do you like view? Obviously, football players look at the season in quarters, but now that you have an extra game, they'll look at it that way. But so far as your assessment of this team, if you looked at it a quarter of the way, how do you guys assess this team so far?
Doing what they should have done.
Well, I said that beforehand. They need, if they're going to get to the playoffs, they need to make hay the first 6 games of the season,
and they've done that.
That's right. And 5-1 is basically, you'd love to go 6-0, but 5-1 was about the most you could expect, and just the way this team is playing. And the other part of it is the guys they have in reserve. I mean, we got the trade deadline coming up here in a couple of weeks, and it's like with the guys that are about to come off injured reserve, they're going to be acquiring players at the trade deadline, their own players at the trade deadline. That's going to reinforce things.
At least 4 starters?
A starting wide receiver, Michael Gallup.
Okay.
2 starting defensive linemen, at least to enter the season.
Gallimore.
Neville Gallimore and
Maybe
Tank Lawrence.
Tank. That's 3.
Kelvin Joseph's a second-round draft pick at corner, who I'm just saying provides depth at a key position.
And a guy that would have been starting with Lawrence out, Dorrance Armstrong, we forget about him because they didn't put him on IR. He's still on the roster.
Yep.
So he's coming back.
Tristan Hill on PUP, who now after 6 weeks, they're not practicing this week, but is eligible to start practicing.
He's almost like
again.
the forgotten guy.
He really is.
No, he
Isn't
is.
that weird?
And another forgotten guy that was going to compete, I think, for the backup swing tackle was Josh Ball, the 4th-round draft choice.
Really?
And he never got an opportunity because, what was it, a week or so into training camp, 2 weeks, he suffered the injury, and, he's been rehabbing ever since.
Not to mention your 3rd tight end. I mean, Sean McCune probably was going to be the 3rd tight end.
And
if
he might
healthy.
be ready this next game because he's been working out pretty significantly out there. So the reinforcements are coming in over the hill,
and a lot of changes on this roster are going to be made.
Yeah, you got to figure it out, right?
Well, you got to make room for him.
Okay, we had one yesterday. Of course, Lyle Collins is back on the 53, and Nick Ralston.
Another guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Starting right tackle, who, by the way, is like a Pro Bowl caliber player.
And so right now they're crossing their fingers that Ralston doesn't get claimed and he can go on the practice squad.
Like Brandon Knight.
That's right.
Got claimed.
Yeah.
Because they had to make room. They decided to make room. So yeah. And that just shows you that there's just a lack of quality offensive linemen out there. That somebody would just scoop up Brandon Knight. Because they would see he started, I don't know, maybe 10 games last year? Something like that. At left tackle, by the way. So, yeah, there's a lack of quality offensive linemen out there.
In the case of Kelvin Joseph, now we'll see where he is, not only physically, but just as far as making the transition into the NFL and so forth. But I would think as they set things up going into this season, the idea being that he would compete in training camp, preseason with Anthony Brown. You got Anthony Brown as a starter. And if he developed the way they wanted him to develop by midseason, he would be in a position to be a starter on this team. And so now we don't know where he is because of the injury and so forth. But I think, to your point, Rob, on Kelvin Joseph, he's a guy that was in the plans who would be getting snaps on defense for sure, as you expected as a second-round draft pick by midseason.
Yeah, and that's a position we've talked about on our show where you can't ever have enough depth. I mean, you need at least 3, really 4 corners that you feel good about in today's
Especially
NFL.
when they're playing defense, yep.
Absolutely. And look, it just happened on Sunday. Maurice Kennedy, who really hasn't played much yet this season, but they like him, gets a concussion, things can happen, and all of a sudden, I mean, we talk about it. I mean, you mentioned to me this morning questions about they have too much wide receiver depth on the Fan, and I get that conversation. It was on our website, mailbag, but like. Depth is great and a good problem until you don't have depth anymore. You just mentioned there's 17 games this season. A lot can happen. Guys can get hurt, and you're going to feel lucky that you do have.
And if they were playing this week with Kennedy in concussion protocol, Nashawn Wright would be the next guy, the fourth corner instead of the fifth corner. And that was something you would have thought Kelvin Joseph would have served. Now, he got off to a slow start, so he I don't think was ever going to compete for a starting job. But as a depth person, I can go back to...
You're talking Joseph or Wright?
Joseph,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And, go back to Kevin Smith's first year.
Pup.
He didn't start till the 10th game, and it took a while because they trusted Ike Holt, and then they finally got him in there.
That was his sophomore season. Second half of his rookie year,
right.
Now he's a sophomore.
Right, yeah, exactly. And then he took over and then chested up with Jerry Rice in the NFC title game.
And you talk about when going back to Anthony Brown or Kelvin Joseph, just think about where you were with Anthony Brown at the beginning of the season. He was almost like the odd man out. He's really turned it around. Even for me, I think on our show I've criticized Anthony Brown and talked about his lack of production from years past. But man, he
was never healthy.
Yeah,
think about it.
And I don't think
healthy.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys aren't. But I'm saying as far as when you're looking at their statistics and saying, okay, this is a guy that you realize next to Trayvon Diggs is going to compete, and you don't think there's a 1A and 1B. I think everyone was thinking that, oh man, this is the odd guy out. We're going to get Kelvin Joseph in, and Kelvin Joseph, even in training camp, could take over what Anthony Brown was doing. And I believe it was Al Harris that even complimented Brown on just the progression that he's making within the system. So I'm really happy about that, and I love the fact that we do have depth. And, yeah, I don't know if too much depth is a bad thing because we've gone through those lean years where we had none at all.
Yeah, and
all you had to do on Anthony Brown is follow the money. I mean, they didn't re-sign him to a 3-year deal out of just, okay, we got some money here, let's sign this guy. They had confidence in him. He just needed to stay healthy. And he finally has.
And now he has confidence in himself.
Yes.
And I think part of that is the success Trayvon is having with these picks. I think it's contagious on this team, the whole mindset.
And you know what?
It's a confidence thing.
I thought on the 75-yard touchdown pass that he just got his butt whipped. I went back and looked at it, and if it wasn't for crazy KZ coming in like a madman, I think he would have gone and picked the ball off. He pulled up.
It was kind of like a fly ball.
Yes.
And you're not sure who's taking it?
Because he's getting ready to do this.
Yeah. Yeah,
he needed to call for it.
It was a weird play.
That's what it looked like to me.
Somebody should have called for it.
Yeah, it's mine.
Right? And then KZ pulled up and did a drive-by instead of going and making the tackle. Oh, if he had made that tackle, he'd have got 15 yards.
That's exactly.
It's better than 75, right?
No, and again, when we talked about it on our show about that whole sequence, that play, from right there, you talk about Diggs getting the pick six. And then the next play, if he had gotten that interception, boy, I mean, your typewriter would have exploded. Not typewriter, I'm joking with you, Mickey. But you'd have had plenty to write about if he undercut it. But you got to see, over the top, KZ had the legitimate opportunity. And maybe just understanding the defense like Diggs does, he probably thought, man, there's no way he's not going to get this pick. And probably was really shocked that Mac Jones even threw the ball.
Yeah.
Seemed to work out pretty well that he went ahead and scored and gave the offense the ball again, give him a chance to go down and kick a field goal and force overtime and win it in overtime.
Just the way they planned it, right?
That's right.
Just the way they planned it.
If he gets stopped for a 15-yard gain, then they might go down and score a touchdown and don't have time to get the ball back.
But that was just a weird play altogether. I just could not believe just the emotional swing from the pick six to you think you got the game won, and then, 20 seconds later, here we go again.
I mean, it reached a point where they had the game in the bag. I mean, if the Cowboys don't convert 3rd and 25, game's over. But that's this offense. They are never out of it.
Look at Mickey going through
I
his
was trying to
legal
see
pad.
where I wrote my notes
When
down
we
on
come
that.
back on Mixed Shots, we're going to find out what else Mickey has on his legal pad.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Cowboy fans, join the NFL in supporting our nation's service members by wearing the latest Dallas Cowboys Salute to Service gear. Visit your local Dallas Cowboy Pro Shop or shop.dallascowboys.com. A fanatic experience to find the full assortment of Salute to Service gear. That Fanatics thing is tough.
You got it. You got it. It was a little hitch, but you got it.
I always want to say fantastic experience.
Well done.
That was. So
I look forward to Mixed Shots later.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait
to wrap it up.
I can't wait for today's Mix Shot.
I got one for
Mainly
you.
just
You got one right now?
Right now.
Okay, we can throw a Mix Shot at you right now.
The Dallas Cowboys have the #1 offense in the National Football League. We know that, right?
Yep.
That's a great Mix Shot.
But
Thank you, Mickey.
when it comes to red zone offense inside the 20, they rank 25th because they've only scored touchdowns on their 25 red zone possessions 56% of the time.
Look at this. Look at this real quick.
56%
See, you
of
taught
the
me
time.
well because I just wrote this down myself.
All right.
Look at
So
that.
how
Look
do
at
you
that.
figure that they can go up and down the field 98 yards, 99 yards, but they get inside the red zone and they can't go 20 yards?
Or they can't go 1 yard because the official won't rule a touchdown on
That's
a
right.
quarterback sneak.
See,
Well-
that's the thing.
How many percentage points is that worth?
Well, that would have been one. They might have got them to 60%. That's something they got to figure out.
No, they do. And you have to, this is a boring answer probably, but you have to look at it like case by case every time they're down in there because they've had situations like Bill said where if they put a chip in the football, that's probably 2 touchdowns right there. Dalton Schultz drops one in the end zone. Okay, that's 3 touchdowns. They've had some opportunities. But yeah, I mean, they're too talented not to be better than they are. I forget who's #1, but it's like 90%, maybe Green Bay.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Okay.
92.9%.
Yeah. There's no reason they can't be that good.
Do you have their numbers?
They've scored touchdowns in the red zone 13 out of 14 possessions. But they've only had 14 possessions.
That's what I'm saying. The Cowboys have had how many possessions in the red zone?
25, and let me see who's had more. Tampa Bay, Arizona have had
Mickey's
28.
cooking the books right now.
And the Chargers, 26.
Well, how's Brady doing?
And Buffalo, 29.
How's Brady doing? Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay is 12th at 64.3%.
What are the numbers? How many out of how many?
Well, ask me all these at once when I looking
it's your
at
mix
it.
shot.
16 out of 26.
16 out of 26, and the Cowboys are what?
14 out of 25.
So if the Cowboys got credit for that
one
quarterback, they'd be at 60%, 15 out of 25.
And it's still not good.
And you're 12th in the league instead of 25th.
And normally, when you look at numbers like that, you say, well, okay, you got to be able to run the football. Well, they're the number 2 rushing team in the league.
Is that Kellen Moore criticism I hear?
No, I think they don't execute very well once they get down there.
I mentioned early in the season.
It's very early. I mentioned those other 3.
Not according to Kellen Moore, because he said we got to be much better in the red zone.
There was a bad fumble exchange. Dak lost one a couple games ago.
Fumbled one in the end zone.
Yeah, the pick that bounced off somebody's hands, deflected. There's some weird stuff that's happened down there. So I think it's a little skewed, but I do think, look, when you're 5-1, you gotta nitpick. You gotta find things that we're not perfect.
Yeah,
where are they in scoring offense? Cowboys.
Well, I have to look that up.
What?
They are first.
It's the twilight zone, by the way, because the weird things keep happening, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I think they're number 1.
They're number 1.
Yeah. But I gotta ask this. In comparison to last year, and I don't know what those actual numbers were. I'm sure they were much worse last year than they are right now.
Bill Jones has the media guide.
I do have the media guide. You want to look at it?
We did a mailbag on this last week. Let me see if I can pull it up.
But I mean,
go ahead, ask your question.
I'm just saying that last year, 30th last year. So I think there's some progression
They're
for
improving.
you. Yeah, come on, Mickey.
Yeah.
30th in red zone.
Thank you for asking about Tampa.
Yeah, with
put it all in perspective, right? What are the champs doing?
With half the offense missing last year. I mean, I don't even think you can compare it to last year.
They don't have it in the team stats.
But that was the biggest knock on Kellen Moore was what he did in the red zone.
I think you're right. I think it even goes back to 2019. And okay, so last year I had them at 29. They were at 50% last year, scoring touchdowns inside the 20. 2019 they were 15th at 57.4%. So kind of right around where they are. But they are too talented not to be in the top 10.
What are they going to do to improve it?
Don't turn the ball over. How many turnovers do you think?
Well, Dak had a fumble. There's a pick Sunday, right?
That's right.
Two goal line sneaks that they didn't get.
Right.
Did they end up scoring on the
previous
time?
one?
I can't remember.
I don't think they did.
But yeah,
ended up kicking a field goal maybe.
So a couple turnovers, couple weird
6 field goals in there too.
Oddly enough, they're better at home.
In the red zone?
Really? Yeah, they're 9th.
Maybe they know how to navigate those 20 yards in AT&T.
I'm just letting you know. They're 69% at home, 41% on the road.
Aha.
Some
home cooking going on the road.
Road splits, huh?
Oh my gosh!
So they need more Connor McGovern on the goal line and maybe catching a touchdown pass.
Just don't be kicking field goals.
Every fat kid's dream, as he said.
That's right.
Don't I know it?
Actually, you know what would be the good stat is how many times they've gotten in there and then committed a penalty. Because I think that's happened quite a bit, as a matter of fact.
Penalties?
Yeah.
And that was the other thing.
What name just entered everyone's mind?
Connor Williams.
You know what? And I went back and looked at that play.
He's tied for the lead in the league.
That was the weirdest holding penalty I think I've ever seen. Because he's got 2 guys coming by him on each side, and they pushed him, and his arms came out like this, right? He didn't hold anybody because they got to Dak, right? And just knowing him and his nature, for him to mouth off at the officials, you know he must have thought he got screwed.
I couldn't see we were on the field at that point or near the field. Did he throw the flag? Did he pick up the flag and throw it?
The umpire threw the flag. No, I saw him go pick up the flag.
Okay.
I think he said something. And I think he said
did.
after the game, Chris, was he in your interview? Or
Yes, he was.
And he said something like, I told him you suck or something like that.
I told him he sucked.
That's not bad. Come on.
It's not the best thing to say to an official.
Yeah, but you don't have to have rabbit ears.
The funny thing is the guy threw the flag like an umpire throwing out a referee.
He threw it from
so high. It was like with a vengeance. Like,
where's the umpire? At least 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The flag landed at the line of scrimmage.
No, Mick, he was in the mix because he was spotting the ball at the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The flag ended up where they spotted the ball.
But that's where he was. It went straight up in the air.
Oh, okay. I thought he threw it.
Same umpire that was overlooking Dak in the end zone on the quarterback sneak.
Not the brightest guy. I can't get a flag for that. So
no, because that guy was that guy made the call on the sideline. He came running in like he knew everything.
Oh yeah,
but then he waited to unpile before he decided where the ball was going to be, and then he tells the head coach, "I couldn't see the ball." And if I was the head coach, I would have said, "Well, absolutely, you couldn't see it because it was in the end zone."
I saw the freeze frame where some over the top video, and Dak's laying in the end zone. He says he couldn't see the ball, and someone put, "Unless the ball is stuck up his."
Yes.
Because that's all he was looking at.
Exactly. That's the only thing that was out of the end zone.
I couldn't see the ball, but I'm going to spot it 6 inches short.
I was wondering how long it would take for you to get pissed off about the officiating.
Oh, I had my hat in here on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm now going back to see, because I tweeted out
You tweeted the picture from the overhead.
Yeah. Where is it?
So offensively, when you get in the red zone, I believe that we've been utilizing the tight ends. They throw a lot when they get down into the red zone, and I think the change that everyone wants to see is Zeke just push it up in there. And even in that goal line stance, they ran Zeke twice and got nothing. And then you go with Dak twice. So whatever it is, especially in the goal in the end zone and the red zone, we got to figure that portion of it out, because again, some of those ghosts of Christmas past came back to us when it seemed like when Kellen gets down there, he kind of panics and doesn't know what to actually go to.
Well, I don't know. They rammed Zeke in there pretty good, and he didn't make it the first time, right?
No, he didn't.
Twice, right?
Yeah. Outside and inside. Yeah, that's right. All right, we can.
They just need to send him towards the pylon cam, right?
Okay, let me just ask you this.
No, actually, no.
Each of you, what would you like to talk about in our last segment here? This is the last segment of the week for us here.
That's it?
Inside the SWBC podcast studio. All right?
Okay.
All right.
You want an answer now, or when we come back?
Okay. Mick's got a Mick shot. Rob's got a Rob shot. Heckma's got a Heckma shot. When we come back,
I like that.
Here on Mick Shots.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf.
Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Cowboys fan. Join Cowboys United presented by Globe Life. Starting at just $20. Join now and get your fan pack, exclusive benefits, and more. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details. Hey, and join today.
That was good.
Very good.
Was that a little ad lib at the end?
You don't think they wrote "hey" in there?
No.
Do you think they wrote $20 too? $20 was more appropriate.
You personalized it there at the end. Made us
His own little touch on it.
That's the end.
his own little signature.
Nikki's good work
for the week.
Oh, I got to clean something up. You guys asked me where was I in 04, and I said I was in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Well, I got left Puerto Rico in 02. I got married in 04. My wife reminded me quickly. And so let me.
And you know she's listening.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, Nikki, you just keep checking his facts too.
So when's your anniversary?
June 19th, 2024.
Okay, you got that. Yeah, good.
I love it.
2004. 2004.
Yeah,
2004.
Juneteenth anniversary.
Yes, Juneteenth.
That's nice.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
Did you plan it that way, or just?
Of course I did.
Oh, okay.
Of course I did.
Was it on a Saturday that year?
It was.
Okay. All right. That's easy to spot on the calendar. Okay, when are we going to get married?
I will never forget it.
Juneteenth is on a Saturday,
Yeah.
so there it is. There we go.
In Dallas?
In Dallas.
In Dallas. All right.
Yep.
All right.
So I just had to clean it up. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, take the show off the rails.
Surprised it took you that long.
Get in trouble that way.
He was debating. Should I or shouldn't I?
That's my hex shot right there.
Okay.
I like it.
Well, does everybody know what day they got married on?
Day of the week? I got married on
The
Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah. Typically.
That's how it works.
Usually not a Monday.
All you guys
Yeah.
were at my wedding, so
There are more Friday.
right.
There are more Friday weddings now that people use venues, and sometimes the venue you want is taken on Saturday. I know that from personal experience with
What about the
one of my
actual-
daughters that I paid thousands and thousands of
and you're
dollars
like, good
for.
thing it's on a Friday.
What about the actual number on the day? You got that still?
Like
25th,
date?
28th.
Yes, I remember
trying
my
to get us all in
anniversary.
trouble?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already
You
got
want us to
myself
go
in
around the
trouble.
table
I'm done.
and tell everyone our anniversary dates?
You know when
Is
I
that
pick,
your mix shot?
You know how I picked mine out?
What are we doing here?
Come on. How'd you pick yours out, Mick? I'm curious.
I didn't want to have to cover another college spring game, so I had it on that Saturday.
I tell you what,
weekend.
there's a rule in our family: you're not getting married during football season.
No, not football season. Spring game.
Oh wow. All right. So what's your mix shot?
My mix shot is
Hit the music, Chris.
I want you guys to basically tell me the top 4 unexpected performances by Cowboy players in 6 games.
The top 4?
Yes.
Well, that's going to take
And
us
if
to
you
the
have-
end there.
And if you have 5, you come up with 5.
Okay, so number 1 on the list is Trayvon has 7 picks in 6 games.
He's among the top 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Osa Digizua.
Love
Okay.
it. Love it.
I don't know if I put that on here, but I'll add it.
Curse.
Curse was number 1 on my list.
Okay.
I thought he was
The way you phrased it.
Oh, sorry. Just
the
a part of
numbers.
the group.
Yeah.
Terrence Steele.
Steele's in there.
What number?
I had him 3rd.
Okay.
So your number 1 was Curse. Number
Right.
3 was Steele.
I just put Diggs down as 4, but
So where are we putting Zeke's start to the season?
I expected it from him.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I did, and I expected Dak.
You expected it starting when? I mean, when did you?
Who?
With
Zeke.
Zeke. I mean, like
From the very beginning.
like from January 1st of last
Whenever-
year, you knew that Zeke was going to perform like
Okay,
this.
how about June 1st?
Okay. Because I'll give it the first week of training camp. The
Okay.
first week of training camp, I saw him and I said, shut him down. I mean, just have him ready for the season. He's ready to go.
So off the top of my head, my expecteds were Dak, Zeke, basically the wide receivers, the top three, Gregory and Parsons.
You expected Parsons to be this good.
Oh, hell yes. I wanted to draft him.
I know you did.
Okay, thank you.
I know.
You must have heard me say.
Oh, I don't know if I heard you, but
You must have heard me.
Unless you were saying it in March.
I was saying it
okay.
in March.
Well, good. We agreed on.
So your list again is
curse.
These
steal,
are unexpected.
The unexpected. One more.
The surprises.
Yeah, one more.
You had curse.
Tony Pollard?
No.
And you're
Cedric Wilson.
Okay. Yeah.
Cedric Wilson.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? He's done this when he's
okay.
been given opportunities.
But not this volume.
I got one.
I got one.
You got one. Good. We get a top five.
You go first.
Noah Brown. No, this I'm messing with.
All right. I got.
He loves him some
He
Noah.
know-
I'm going to throw a name out there.
Has he got double-digit catches?
I'm going to throw a name out there because during the game on Sunday, I got a text from one of our producers at CBS 11, Chris Bullock, who said, is Dalton Schultz the biggest surprise on this team? And my answer was, no, he did this last year.
He caught 63 passes last year.
I said he did it last year. Now, I will say this. He's taken it to another level this year, but he is benefiting from all the other weapons because he's the guy that's open a lot of times. But you still have to make the catch,
right?
And he's doing. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from him when I say his breakout year was last year. He was the surprise last year because of what he was able to do.
But touchdown catches this year.
Yeah.
Right. I think he's been good, but I think we saw it coming.
And I told him, no, the biggest surprise is Curse.
Because I had to, and I don't remember what the answer to this is, but I had to go back quite a way to find somebody, a Cowboy tight end with 60 catches in a season, not named Witten.
And?
I don't remember what I found.
Okay.
But I found something. It might have been.
I made Novacek have.
It might have been Novacek or Cosby. Because you can. Well, you'd have to go year by year on Novacek, right?
I don't know how the number one answer can't be Trayvon Diggs, and that's not talking about his talent level.
Right.
Well, I just
this is unheard of.
I didn't rank them. I just wrote down the group.
Yeah.
And
okay.
And it's the number of
but you
interceptions.
thought Diggs,
we knew that that
he
Diggs
would
was gonna
play
be
well, right?
You knew he could be a
Right.
special
So it's,
player.
It's
but
a different, just like when the way you phrased it. What's the surprising number? The surprising number is 7 picks.
Yes,
in 6
right.
games.
It's almost turning into like Roy Hobbs, the natural type stuff. This is something. It's like special forces at work here. I mean, it's crazy what he's doing right now. Absolutely nuts.
Even on tipped balls, right?
And the reason it's crazy is because
we haven't seen it.
Guys, we saw it, and we didn't see it in this number of games to start the season. I mean, we saw it with Everson Walls his rookie year in 1981.
40 years ago.
That's what I was about to say. That was a different era. There were more interceptions. I mean, all you got to do is go back and look at the quarterback numbers back in 30 years
crushed
ago.
back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
So-
But the thing about Trayvon is I don't think he thinks it's crazy because one, he told us this last interception, he had it scouted. He saw that route, he knew it was coming, and made a play on it. That's film study. And he also told me at training camp, and he kind of had a look on it like he was pissed off at himself that I got my hands on this number of balls last year and I didn't come up with them. Basically for him, it's just like I just needed to catch them.
Well, if he was going to be pissed off last year, it should have been the number of times he got caught looking at the quarterback and got beat.
Well, part of that too.
Because he paid a price for starting as a rookie, I thought.
Mick Novacek did it in 92 and 95.
Okay.
Thank you,
So
Ben.
he had to go back 30-some years, almost 30 years.
He had 68 catches in 92.
But Dalton is turning himself into a legit weapon on
Yes.
offense. And I don't think that anyone before, and we've talked about this at length, when he was in the battle with Jarwin and Jarwin took the reins and was, team favorite, got the contract. But now you're really at a crossroads now with him because he's in a contract year. You can't let that go, can you?
I don't think so.
The biggest talk in the offseason is Michael Gallup has an expiring contract. Well, now it's Dalton Schultz. Randy Gregory is making an early season case to be in the Pro Bowl based on the way he's playing. We'll see. But, yeah, that's 3 unrestricted free agents to be where you're like, how do they pay everybody?
4 sacks every 6 games. That's not bad.
And just to further that point, just when Bill Belichick double teams Schultz in the red zone, that's just the testament to the respect that teams are starting to have for him.
Yeah.
Back on Diggs' numbers, so now in his career, he's played 18 games. He had 3 picks last year, 7. So he's got 10 picks his first 18 games of his career. Everson, his rookie year, had 11 in the regular season, 16 games, and then in 2 postseason games, he had 2 interceptions. So he had 13 interceptions the first 18 games of his career, including those postseason.
Well, if you look at how he finished the year last year, he had a pick in game 15. So in the last 8 games, he's got 8 picks.
Pretty amazing.
And the only other player to do that is Rob Woodson, to have as many as he's had up until this point.
You mean in your career?
Yeah.
I think that might
through
be
this
right.
many games?
Yeah, through this many games.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's great company. That's great company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took Everson 16 games to get 11.
Mick.
I wonder what he had the year before with the 16 and I mean the next year. I didn't mean the year before. I meant the next year. Because remember, he had 7 in 9 games?
He did.
Yeah.
And I've got...
I know you were ready to jump on me.
I was going to Rod Woodson. Now I got to go look up Everson. So, did y'all have any shots you want to throw
We're
out?
out of time, aren't we?
We can stretch it.
I'm going to try to answer Mickey's question on Everson Walls, if y'all will just vamp for a second.
He basically had 18 picks in 24 games.
Oh yeah, he had Everson in 82 had 7 picks. Right. Had 11 picks in 81. So in 25 games, he had 18 interceptions. Throw in the 2 playoff games. Yeah, throw in the 2 playoff games.
Which he always reminds us.
in the game with the catch, he had 2 picks in that game. No one remembers that. I think he had a fumble recovery, too.
Yes, he did.
So, news waiting out there.
2 in 1 game. But I just wanted to tell Mickey, for my Mick shot, that I'm booking my trip to SoFi for the Super Bowl.
All right.
And you know what? There's going to be a Super Bowl there.
There is going to be a Super Bowl, and we're going to be there, Mickey. Me and you. We're going to be there together.
All right.
You'll be there, Mick Fido.
I love it. I've been playing that role on Mick Shots.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been.
I'm going to play that role,
Of course, I did
too.
last year, too, even when they were, no.
No, you didn't. Hey, come on, Bill. Don't have them check you out.
Should we give him our little saying from Everson?
What is it?
If 7 gets 11, we're going to heaven.
7 gets... Oh, man, I like that. Let me write that down.
All right, your turn, Rob. What you got?
Very quickly, we're talking about things. We talked about red zone, things they can improve on. Defensively, we all know they've been really good defensively. Run defense has been good. I mean, they've only given up 517 yards on the ground. Haven't been tested a lot. Cowboys have rushed 194 times. Opponents have only gone 121 carries against them, and the Patriots ran right at them and had some success doing it. Next game, Dalvin Cook, Minnesota, great test. And that's something, Dan Quinn spoke about the run defense. He's pretty happy with it, but that's something they have to keep growing at as the season goes on. Was the biggest problem on defense last year.
I love it. And Mickey, okay, you got one more thing
One
to say?
last one.
Okay.
The biggest problem they've got is pass defense, because as good as the Cowboys have thrown the ball this year, the opponents have 22 more yards passing than the Cowboys do. That's got to change.
It does. All right. And now, Mickey, do you have a parting word for us as we go into our bye weekend?
Make sure you behave yourself.
Okay.
Don't be going crazy watching Oklahoma and going out partying afterwards. Stay with your family and friends.
All right. And go to bed before midnight.
Or at least before 2.
That won't be a problem.
Okay. All right. Have a great bye weekend, and we will see you again next week.
Book your tickets.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this?